Back-to-back, 6 in the last 9 seasons, another ring for women's gymnastics. Their win ahead.
It's a windy day in Oklahoma. Find out what's in store for this week coming up next.
And wildfires force evacuations just north of Oklahoma City. We have the latest. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sydney Wallace.
And I'm Jimmy Wicks. We begin tonight with breaking news. A wildfire just north of Oklahoma City is forcing evacuations.
The fire is near Waterloo Road and west of North Post Road.
You can see in this video from our partners at News 9, smoke has filled the area.
Firefighters from Edmond, Woodcrest, Oklahoma City, and Tinker Air Force Base are on scene.
We do know that some buildings have burned in this fire, but it is not clear if they are homes or outbuildings.
And the OU Nightly weather team is tracking the wildfire danger today.
Let's get right over to meteorologist Andrew Messersmith. Andrew?
Yeah, we've been following this all day today. Conditions are conducive for fires. Right now, temperatures a little bit warm in the 70s and lower 80s for the OKC metro area. And you can see those winds really whipping out of the south. And looking at the whole state, really the whole state are in similar conditions to these. And really, it's the dew points that's the main story today, in the 40s and in the 30s, causing some of that fire danger. We've got Carlyn outside right now in Norman. Carlyn, what's it looking like out there here?
Thanks, Andrew. It is a beautiful day here in Norman across campus. The sun is out. We've got blue skies, but we're also windy. I'm sure you can see outside the wind is blowing, and as you're walking to class, I'm sure you've noticed it as well. But here in Norman, our winds are gusting of up to 30 miles per hour. So that's something that is also contributing to that fire danger risk here in central Oklahoma. And while we're very glad we haven't had any fires here in Norman yet, we do want to stay safe and keep that in mind as the rest of the day goes on and into the rest of the week. Be sure to keep that in mind. But back to you, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks, Carlyn. It looks like a really nice day outside, albeit there is quite a bit of wind coming this way. Now, for the rest of our show, we are going to talk about this elevated fire danger today. This is for the entire state of Oklahoma, including the OKC metro area. And we're also looking at a midweek severe chance for your Wednesday afternoon and evening, and then a little bit of a cool down this weekend. Jimmy?
Thanks, Andrew. Today, citizens of McCurtain County in southeast Oklahoma are protesting comments made by their county sheriff and county commissioner. An audio recorded taken by a local reporter includes talks of killing, beating, and burying 2 local newspaper reporters. OU Nightly's Olivia Dague has been following the story, warning this story may be sensitive for some viewers. Olivia?
Jimmy, when McCurtain County reporter and publisher Bruce Willingham left his tape reporter behind, he hoped to catch the commissioner's office holding secret meetings. Now, his suspicions were confirmed, but as he kept listening to the recording, what he heard, much, much worse. Threats to beat, kill, and bury him and his son.
Don't say it, you know.
What goes around goes around.
It will. I told you it will.
Yeah.
I know where 2 big deep holes are if you ever need them.
I got an excavator.
And these are already pre-dug.
Those 2 deep holes for journalists Bruce Willingham and his son, Chris. Both work for newspaper McCurtain County Gazette. The individuals involved, Sheriff Kevin Clardy, Commissioner Mark Jennings, as well as the sheriff's investigator and jail administrator. The 4 were also caught discussing hiring hitmen for the 2 reporters.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that were very quiet guys.
Yeah.
And would cut no mercy.
Yeah.
In Louisiana. Because it was all mafia around Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Willingham told News 9 he thinks the sheriff and the staff were upset about unfavorable coverage of Eagletown residents who hogtied a man last year for burglarizing a local dispensary. McCurtain County Police tasered the man while hogtied. He later died. In addition, social media was fired up about the sheriff and commissioner reminiscing on lynching and hanging of black men.
Well, it's not like that no more.
I know. We'll take them down here on Mud Creek and hang them up with a rope.
Yeah.
But you can't do
And
that.
the thing about it is,
They got more rights than we got.
Bruce Willingham has sent these recordings to the FBI and the Oklahoma Attorney General's office. The FBI has launched a formal investigation. We did reach out to the McCurtain County Sheriff's Office. They told us they have no comment at this time. Reporting from the newsroom, Olivia Dague, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Olivia. Governor Kevin Stitt releasing a statement calling for resignation of Sheriff Clardy and Commissioner Jennings, as well as several other McLean County officials. The governor says, quote, "I am both appalled and disheartened to hear the horrid comments made by officials in McCurtain County. I will not stand idly while this takes place," end quote.
A 16-year-old boy was shot and seriously wounded by an 80-year-old man in Kansas City, Missouri. Ralph Yarl was picking up his siblings at an address given to him by his parents, but he accidentally went to a home with a similar address. When Yarl arrived and knocked on the door, the homeowner shot him twice. The shooter was taken into custody and released 24 hours after the arrest. Pending further investigations, civil rights attorney Lee Merritt and Benjamin Crump are representing the victim and his family, demanding swift action, and are calling the shooting horrendous and unjustifiable.
He is alive. He is healing. Yes. So I just want to tell you thank you for being here, because my nephew is alive.
Civil rights attorney Lee Merritt and Benjamin Crump are representing the victim and are demanding swift action and are calling the shooting horrendous and unjustifiable.
Moments before a man is killed, police discuss if they're at the right house. OU Nightly's Becca Yanez joins us with this story out of New Mexico and more from the News Center.
That's right. 3 New Mexico police officers are now on paid administrative leave after shooting and killing a man at the wrong house. The police chief said the officers were responding to a domestic violence call, but were at the wrong address. The homeowner, 52-year-old Robert Dotson, reportedly answered the door armed with a handgun. That's when officers fired their weapons, and the DA's office will determine if the shooting was justified. And in New York City, 2 people have been arrested. They are accused of establishing a secret police station on behalf of the Chinese government. The Justice Department says the police station aimed to crack down on pro-democracy activists and people who are critical of China's policies. And in Texas, a substitute teacher has been fired after allegedly organizing a fight between students. The school district says the teacher encouraged fights, outlined rules for the kids to fight by, and even had a student monitor the classroom door while fights took place. The school district says that it has worked with the school for a few months. Sydney, Jimmy.
One of the biggest events of the spring semester is this weekend.
We're taking Money Matters outside for a sneak peek. Morgan?
A big weekend in Norman for fans and visitors. Spring Game is up ahead, and it's going to bring thousands of dollars and fans to Norman.
The spring game is around the corner, and that means big business for Norman. Morgan Martin has more on the economic impact in today's Money Matters. Morgan?
It's time for the spring game, and for many local businesses, the hustle and bustle starts this Thursday.
You never know when the visitor to the spring game, it's going to be their first time to Norman, and so
Dan Skim with Visit Norman is getting local businesses ready for the busy weekend.
anything outside the lines, whether that's letting our restaurants know things are happening, we'll get your specials ready, be ready to show all of our fans a good time.
Businesses are expecting a larger turnout than years past. According to OU Athletics, spring game attendance jumped from the usual 40,000 fans to over 70,000 this last year. And for consumers heading to Norman, Skim says when you get your receipt, you'll see a guest tax.
All the amazing festivals and art walks and things that we love doing, that's funded with all of these visitors' dollars.
50% goes straight to Visit Norman for marketing. The other 50% split between the Arts Council and Norman Parks and Recs. And for those staying at the new Noun Hotel, you can expect to see that charge.
As soon as the spring game was announced, our phone just started ringing off the hook with people trying to make reservations.
Crystal Ross, sales manager for the Noun, says they're expecting a full house for their first spring game.
So we're kind of the place to be during that weekend.
But while hotels and boutiques are expecting a large turnout this weekend, Visit Norman says they're seeing more and more people.
We actually, we have been blessed that we have some of the best women's athletes in the country. And
Visit Norman says the turnout every weekend right now is a lot. They say other teams drawing in a big crowd, softball and women's gymnastics. From outside the Memorial Stadium, Morgan Martin, OU Nightly.
Well, I know I absolutely can't wait for the spring game this weekend.
I mean, especially after last year. I mean, it was dang near a sellout, 70,000 people. I know I'm going, but a new student-run magazine has taken to campus.
How this magazine is hoping to give more people a voice at OU. And coming up, OU Nightly meteorologist Andrew Messersmith has your weekly forecast. Andrew?
That's right. We're going to talk about the upcoming severe weather potential, so stick around. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Right now, we are taking a look at our current wind gusts that have been fueling these fires up here in OKC. That's up there in Dakota County. Right now, we are seeing temperatures right now 79 degrees in Norman, 80 across most of the metro area. And as we zoom out, once again, looking at those current temperatures here. But we do have the current wind gusts that are, sorry, we're having a little bit of problems with our graphics here. All right, we're back. All right, so current wind gusts reaching above 35 miles an hour here in western Oklahoma, 25 for the OKC metro area, and that is fueling, I know my allergies have been really bad the last couple of days. Tree pollen is at a high, grass pollen is at a medium. I've seen a lot of people mowing their lawns, and that has really caused those allergies to be bad. And the wind is not helping anything allergy-wise, that's for sure, and of course fire-wise. And this is the future wind gusts. This is for tomorrow morning. We're still looking at almost 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts here in Oklahoma. Even in Oklahoma, that's windy. And all right, so that's going to push out, though, as we head into Wednesday with our next storm potential, which we'll talk about here in a second. But first, here's our fire danger forecast. The red is high, that pink is extreme, and we have had fire reports here in the red. We're going to see a lot more moisture, so you might be thinking, well, we're going to see those strong winds continue and even increase, but that moisture is going to help to keep things in the green for the next couple of days. That being said, do be careful if you're out there in the metro area this evening. Now, we do have a marginal risk for severe weather. This is on Wednesday. Norman's in this risk, and it's a conditional risk, once again, meaning we're going to be looking at that cap, the capping inversion. We'll talk about that. But here we go. Here's this Gulf moisture that's coming up from the south here. This is Wednesday afternoon. We're going to have plenty of moisture this time around. It is going to feel very humid. And here's that low pressure system that's going to help create that forcing, help create our thunderstorms for Oklahoma. Now here's a one model run. This is going to change quite a bit over the next couple of days, but I do want to show you just this one model run. We have a couple of cells that fire around 5 p.m. and then push off to the east. And once again, this is going to change a lot, but you can kind of get an idea of what's going to happen for the mid-afternoon time frame. Now, what is a cap? Well, it's when you have warmer air above the surface where you have cooler air at the surface. And this means that the air rises and then can't rise above the warmer air. So we need some forcing to really get rid of that cap and bring us severe weather. But like I mentioned, here is all of that moisture that's really going to fuel those thunderstorms. And our highs tomorrow, it's going to be very nice. It's going to be in the 70s and 80s. So here's a look at the rest of your week. It's going to be 70s and 80s through Wednesday before we cool off a little bit into the weekend. We're going to see temperatures getting down into the 30s overnight and highs in the 60s.
Well, that absolutely sounds like beautiful weather. I absolutely can't wait.
Right. I know me and you are golfers. Crazy wind. When is the best day to go?
Well, it's going to be windy Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday is looking really good for golf. But don't forget your sunscreen. I got burnt this weekend.
I also got burnt right on the neck. I am red as a lobster right now. So
I'm sunscreened up all the time. Always have it with me. And graduation season is coming up on campus, and that means end-of-year festivities are coming up too.
The 2023 Class Council for the University of Oklahoma is hosting a senior picnic for those graduating this spring. However, it's not just your normal picnic.
Essentially, we are going to have dining options as well as crafts for students to participate in. And we will also have raffle drawings, giveaways, and free gifts for every senior that shows up.
The picnic is an opportunity for everyone to honor the achievements of the senior class.
The celebration will be on the South Oval Thursday, April 20th from noon until 4 p.m. And coming up in sports, hear how one OU alum made history following his tremendous season.
And not one, but two Sooner sports went back-to-back over the weekend. Loeffelholz has more in sports.
That's right, there's been a huge splash in the NFL this offseason, and some Sooner sports need to make some room in their trophy cases. Sports is next. Hello, I'm Loeffelholz, and it's time for sports. There's a new highest paid player in the NFL, and he's a Sooner. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles have agreed to a record-breaking contract after making the Super Bowl last season. Hurts' deal carries a $255 million pay grade with $179 million guaranteed. He is now the highest paid player in NFL history, averaging $51 million each season. Oklahoma women's gymnastics went back-to-back for their 6th national championship. The Sooners have now won 2 in a row, 3 of their last 4, and 6 of the last 9. Gymnasts Jordan Bowers and Olivia Troutman spoke on their experience in Fort Worth.
Yes, we rallied together and we just said we know what we have and we're all just going to come together and do our best gymnastics, and that's exactly what we did.
Every moment is just so special and I wouldn't be able to do it without my trainers, my team, my coaches, my family and friends. So I'm just here to celebrate with my team and just give it all I got, every last ounce of it, and I'm just excited to be here.
Oklahoma men's gymnastics also competed for a national title over the weekend and finished 4th. Zach Nunez, Ignacio Yakers, Emmery Dedanley, and Jack Freeman received All-American honors to close out the season. Sooner men's gymnastics has now finished in the top 4 in each NCAA championship since 2000. And the Oklahoma City Thunder season came to a close after their play-in loss to Minnesota on Saturday. OU Nightly's Emily Faith was there for the Thunder's reception back in Oklahoma City. Emily?
Yeah, that's right, Pierce. After an overachieving season for the Oklahoma City Thunder, fans lined up at Will Rogers Airport to welcome their team back home. Thunder fans never fail to bring electric energy to the Paycom Center, but early Saturday morning, Thunder fans brought that energy to the Will Rogers Airport to show love for their home team.
I just love the Thunder and got to represent for the team and everything they do for us, and so just got to represent.
Cheers and chants from Thunder fans filled the airfield as Thunder players stepped off of the plane and back onto Oklahoma soil.
I think that it just really kind of it speaks volumes that the fans out here want to be out here at 2 and 3 in the morning to welcome our team back. But I think that's really what has become kind of a tradition in Oklahoma City, and I just really enjoy that.
This tradition has been around for years in OKC, and no matter the time of day, Thunder fans are always ready to show off their Thunder pride. Pierce, back to you.
Thanks, Emily. The 16th ranked OU women's tennis team traveled to Kansas for their final regular season match, and they brought back some extra hardware. The Sooners took down the 22nd ranked Kansas Jayhawks for back-to-back Big 12 regular season titles. OU will travel back to Kansas for the Big 12 championship starting Thursday. Sydney, Jimmy, back to you.
Thanks, Pierce. And do you like to relax in a yoga class?
I do, but I don't go as often as I should. But hear about one place in Norman adding a twist to a normal yoga class. Coming up.
I'm Emmery Johnson at the OU Nightly Update Desk with breaking news. Firefighters continue battling a massive grass fire in Logan County near Arcadia. In this video from News 9, that blaze near Waterloo and Post already forcing residents to evacuate from their homes. Officials say the fire has been burning for more than an hour and picked back up because of the wind. Sydney, Jimmy.
Thanks, Emmery. You've heard of goat yoga. Well, now there's alpaca yoga, and the Well in Norman is just one of those places partaking in the fun.
Cat to cow pose meets humming alpacas, and they just run around the room and eat carrots out of your hands.
The alpacas will even lay down and relax with you.
Well, I would definitely love to go see some alpaca yoga and even participate. Sounds like a blast.
I definitely have to try it out, but let's pass it over to OU Nightly meteorologist Andrew Messersmith for one more check at the last weather.
I'd love to relax with some alpacas as well, but you know, I've just got to settle for the pool, I guess, out here this evening. It's going to be a perfect pool evening. You know, my apartment complex has a great pool, but there's a couple of geese that have decided to make a home there, unfortunately. But if your pool has no geese in there, we've got beautiful temperatures today. Moderate winds, but nothing that you haven't seen already here in Oklahoma. Temperatures getting down to 70 by 9 p.m. And then once again, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We're seeing warmer temperatures Wednesday with those chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. And then as we head into the weekend, those temperatures will cool off as we head into Earth Day, which is Saturday. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andrew, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Jimmy Wicks.
And I'm Sydney Wallace. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.